1958, at the age of 12, Larry Lund's interest in Sasquatch-Bigfoot was sparked after watching the movie The Abominable Snowman of the Himalayas.
In his teens, Larry began corresponding with the Four Horsemen of Sasquatch research: Byrne, René Dahinden, John Green, Grover Krantz.
At age 16, Larry was invited up to Canada by Dahinden, and a lifelong friendship developed.
As the years went on, when leading researchers were passing through Larry's town, they would often stop in to visit and or do an overnight before heading to their next destination.
The video you're about to view shows Larry analyzing the Patterson-Gimlin film of October 20th, 1967.
Larry notes that Patterson had stopped filming, whether intentionally or not, at least 2 times. Lund may be the first person to have made this observation. Many thanks go out to researcher Larry Lund for archiving and making this footage available. Appreciation is extended as well to Gene Robinson for acting on Larry's behalf to forward the material.
Sit back, relax, and enjoy this previously unreleased video.
Yeah, it's a tough job, but somebody's got to do it. This whole film's got to be completely analyzed frame for frame. That's quite a task since it's a total of 952 frames. And it was shot such a long time ago, and the main character who filmed it has passed away and can't talk to him. It was shot on October 20th, 1967 at Bluff Creek, California. This is a movie scope, and I'm going to take the film frame by frame and go through it and maybe see some things I never saw before, or see them in a better light, or a little clarity. This is the Patterson film, not a video, which you'll be watching here, but this is the Patterson film. So I'm going to go through and look at some of these, possibly bring the camera around and see if we can't get some clarity on here through the video and show it. But until then, let me check out a few of these and get back to you. Take you on this little adventure with me. This is very exciting for me. This is quite different looking in this screen here and seeing these frames. They're a lot different. Now I can crank this at a speed about like that. There she goes, moving away from the creek bed there. Or if I find something interesting, I can go frame for frame, back it up. I'm trying to find those frames that I discovered on the video, and the film guy more or less helped me prove that the camera was shut off accidentally as he was running twice in the filming of this creature. We'll come across 2 pure white frames, hopefully, and that will show places that I suspected as being where Roger's finger slipped off the trigger, and he kept running and then hurried up and turned it back on. I think I'm close to one of the spots now. The first one is when she's moving from left to right towards the bright red bush that you see in there, and all of a sudden you'll see a flickering movement, and she's past that red bush on the right hand side of it, and she's a different size, meaning that I think Roger got closer to her while his finger was off the trigger, and by the time he got his finger on it, he was closer to her, and when he comes back, she's larger. Trying to see that spot now and try to prove it to myself. I'm pretty sure that that's what's happened, and I've showed it to people. Peter Byrne's one of them. He agrees with me. A few other people agree with me. And a man who knows film said the reason for the white frame before that is that the frame was exposed while it was on. The finger slipped off the trigger, shut the camera off. He hurriedly ran, got his finger back on it, turned it back on while the same frame was still there in front of the lens. So it was double exposed with the light, and it just brightens it up pure white. And And that is what makes me think that that's what happened. A film person has confirmed that he thinks that I'm correct. And like I say, Peter Byrne and a few others have looked at it several times with me, and they agree. So it's my contribution to the Patterson film, if I'm right. And in 32 years, there's been no changes in the film. And right here on René's film, 16mm celluloid film right here, shows me exactly what I've just been saying. It goes to a white frame, and there the creature is on the other side of the bush, going to the right, and she's larger, meaning that Roger is closer. He did not have a zoom lens, he didn't have adjustable lens, he didn't have the three lenses to turn on. He had just the one, and he was running and shooting. And there it is. I'm not sure what number the frames are. I'll have to start from the beginning and count and see which frames I'm at. And possibly René can look at it too in the morning with me and give his ideas on it. He's not so sure that he thinks I'm right. He hasn't looked at it yet, though. But he told me to go ahead and play with this and get it set up and mess with it the way I wanted it. And together he and I'll look at it in the morning. So we'll let it go at that spot right there, and I think what I'll do is bring the camera around and try to show you these parts and see if I can focus on this small screen. But it is much clearer than watching what you've been used to seeing on TV or at home on a video even. I mean, this is so much different. Well, I'd like to get this back to a spot. You can clearly see the piece of wood laying there that she steps by, and it gives you the impression that her right foot actually steps on that piece of wood, maybe just a bit, and nudges it. Tomorrow we're going to set up the best of my videos of the film I had done by the Sightings Lab, and at times it looks like the piece of wood moves. So I think she actually does hit it. So does René. He showed me tonight on this by turning frame by frame how her foot comes down, but I'm at that point now. And she comes awfully close to it. But I want to set this up to frame 352 and bring the video camera around here and see what it can pick up on this thing. Now, this is quite a small screen, so possibly my video camera won't pick it up well. 350. Frame 352. Okay, we get that centered. Okay, now I'm going to get the camera and move that around here. Sure what this looks like through there, because the focusing of this camera is not good anyhow. Try to clarify it a bit here. On that micro thing, but I don't think it's no, I don't think we're going to get much out of this. So, I need a better camera, I know that. But anyhow, maybe parts of that are clarified, I don't know. Let me get this out of here. But this is the film editor. It's a movie corp, a movie scope. $300 item that really makes it nice in doing this kind of work. So, let me continue. Not so sure that we need to have a video of me doing this, but what the heck, why not? I said before, there's two places on the film that turned bright white, and the other one being towards the end. I've got her moving just about the right speed, I think. René believes, because of the action, because of the way things are, and the timing, that the film was actually shot at 16 frames per minute. Other people have disagreed with that. Even he disagreed at one time, I guess. But now he feels that it was shot at 16 frames per minute. That's the way it stands now. Until a better theory comes up. I guess that's where we'll leave it. And now I'm coming up to the other white frame. It's where she's walking away, going way back into the far reaches. Okay, I think I've gone too far. So when she's behind all those standing trees, and she comes out in the middle, you can see her between them. She steps up, you see her walk away. And there, another white frame. It's there. It's like I've seen it on my VCR on the TV, but this is much better to work with. The white frame. Kind of a swirling movement of the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 frames start showing. You can see the logs again. You can tell what they are. Now we're into. We're walking away now. We're past those trees. All of a sudden, we just boom out there on those trees. So evidently the camera was shut off when he was right behind the white line of trees. He moved to his left. Finger came off. Frame went blank. And there's the creature farther away than she was when the frame went blank. So it did cover some ground, meaning the camera was shut off. She had time to walk away farther and get smaller. There she is at the other end of the field. So, I think I've proved my point to myself, if no one else. There she goes. Off. There to the back. Boy, this makes a difference seeing the film, not a video. 60mm film is so much clearer on so many places. I suggest that you watch this as many times as you can. Just at the very far side of the field where she goes through there and just starts to disappear. The film frames here are so much clearer than on the video. I can stop on each frame and just sit and look at her. There's no fear of this machine burning the film. That's what these are for. Where if you show this film on a regular projector, it can burn a frame. It can do damage to the film. That's why René uses this. It's an excellent piece. It's made in Germany. Yeah, I can see clear to the back of that field, and I just see everything. It's a movie scope made by Zeiss. Icon. I-K-O-N. Z-E-I-S-S-I-K-O-N. And it's just really an excellent piece of equipment. I'm getting to the last couple of frames now, I believe, because she's right close to that last thin tree. Let's see how far. There. That was the end. I was just a couple of frames away. Frame 952. There's two black lines running across this frame, going from left to right. They're close together on the left side, and as they go across the frame, they widen out. Looks like maybe something has happened to it. Scraped. But she's right below the line. You can see her standing right by that little, not standing, she's actually moving, but right by that skinny tree. Very thin tree right beside her, and she's gone. Roger ran out of film. 952 frames of what I believe to be history. A lot of theories and a lot of opinions out there. We all have ours. But I certainly believe what I'm looking at here is real. Not a film expert. I don't think I'm any kind of expert, but this looks too real to me to possibly been able to be hoaxed. Sure, now they probably can do it. 67. Just didn't have this stuff. Unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. No one could have faked that then. Not like this. The movement, the creature itself, it's just too big, too massive, too thick, too broad across the shoulders. The scale shows up so much better here. It's so much clearer. I wonder if René has to take this home with him. You know. What are friends for, René? Great. Well. Backing towards the stick. I'm going a little too slow, but going back towards a piece of wood here. Right foot comes back. Boy, I think she hits it. I think it pops up. Renee's right. That right foot hits it and it pops up. Very clearly in those frames. René has this piece of wood. It's 18 inches long. Just decided, hey, take it home. What the heck? Souvenir. Well, it's turned out to be quite a helpful thing. Knowing the length of that piece of wood has helped determine the supposed actual height of that creature. Everyone seems to agree on it. 7'3", 0.3. That's what I believe it is. And I just believe what I'm looking at here is a real creature. I can't see any way around it. Today, yes, I could. If it was made today, if some guy came to me tomorrow and said, hey, take a look at this piece of film, I'd say, hey, good job, you did great. But not in 1967. It's a pity you all can't see it this way. I'd like to have you all see it this way, but it makes such a difference. There it is. The best piece of evidence we've got. So many people don't believe it. It's a shame. It's a shame. There it is. You have to make up your own minds. Without a body, without a living creature, we have no proof. Except this piece of film. I believe it. So for myself, I can kind of rest on it. I think what we have here is a real creature, a real time. And if there's one, there can be lots of others. So don't give up, you guys. If I don't leave you anything else when I leave this earth, I can leave you my opinion. That and $1 will buy you a cup of coffee, but I think that's a real creature. So, let it go at that. Until something better comes in. This is it. Patterson film.